Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel leelawebdev. In this video, we will try to see about the signal input. So, what is the signal input and how it works and their advantages over the traditional aggregate input and how to implement them with clear examples. We'll try to see it. So, overview of this one. So, let's try to see about the overview of this one. So, signal inputs. So, normally the signal inputs are a feature in Angular that allow component values to be bound from parent components. So whenever you are trying to send a props values from parent component to the child component, normally we use the input decorator, right? So the same thing, the feature, it is another feature available in the Angular that is nothing but signal inputs. These values are exposed using a signal which can change throughout the life cycle of your component. This feature is currently in the developer preview, soon in the Angular 19 or something like that, so it will become stable. So before that we will try to learn it that one. So now the key features of signal input. So normally the input values, normally if you take it means there are two types. There is nothing but one is optional and another one is required. So what is the difference between these two? Optional inputs means these are by default optional inputs. Optional input means these are, so by default inputs are optional unless specified otherwise. You can provide an initial value or it defaults to undefined. Required input means these inputs must have a value and are declared using the input dot required. So let's try to see the implementation example for this one. So for example, let's say that here we are having a computed signal. Okay. So in this one, what I will try to do it is I am trying to remove this entire code, and in the HTML, oh sorry, this one is here in our computed signal file. I will try to remove this entire code, and here in our computed.html also I will remove this one. Okay, fine. So now in this one, what I will try to do it is, so let's say that. So let's say that, so we will be having the input, three types of inputs. One is an optional input, let's say that. So that is nothing but first name is equal to input. Okay, so this should be imported from the, where we need to import it, this one from the Angular core. Okay, so input of, and I will try to keep it like this only. And by this one will have a value of something like string. Okay, so the second one which you will be having is the age. Age is equal to input of 0. So this one is also default value. I am trying to give this age thing. So input signal of number, this one. So first one will return, if you doesn't return any first name means it will return undefined, and this one you will be having a default value. And now the third one which I will try to write it is the required field. That is nothing but last name, and here I can write its input dot. So here I can use the required, and this one will take the string. Okay, and here it should be something like this. So last name will be input dot required string. So these are the things. So now these are the things which you will be having. So now let's try to implement this one in the what I want to say is in the HTML. So here I can have a first name, and here I can use it something like first name. Okay, and here you will be having the last name. So here you will be having the last name, and here also you can use the last name. And another one which I will be having is the, oh let's try to remove this closed one before this one only. Yeah, and another one which I have is the age. So you can mention the age also. So I will try to mention the age. Let's try to see this one. That's it. So these are the three things which I will be trying to do. So now here the first name is optional thing, and the age is an optional which is initialized to 0, and the last name is the required input that must have a value of type string. Okay, so let's try to have it in the app.component.ts file, so where you will be trying to use it. So in the app.component.html file, so I can remove this one and I can remove this one also. So in the app component, here I need to send the first name value. So okay, so let's try to send the first name is equal to, so let's try to first implement this first name and all those things. So here I will remove this entire code, and here I will be having the first name value is equal to something like John. Okay, and here I can have a let's say that last name is equal to Doe, and the last one is the age which is 25, let's assume. Okay, so now in our app.component.html file, so here I can send the first name, and the last name I can send it and last one is the age. Okay, sorry, age, that's it. So now I am trying to send the each one. Let's try to see the output for this one. So if you try to see the output for this one, so you'll be able to see the input signal John Doe and 25. So why we are able to get this one is, so here as usual, so these are all signals, right? So you need to mention it like this, then you will be able to get the value. So it will be responded to the values. That's it. So now let's try to refresh. So we are able to get this one. So we can also alias the input names also. If you want to alias the input names, so we can also alias the input names. So how you can alias this input names is, so for example, let's say that computer signal data. So for age you are having something like 0, right? So you can keep another one something like alias. Okay, here you can have a student age. Okay, and now so you need to send this alias name in our this one as a student age. That's it. So now you can use it in your component as age only. So this is one thing which I want to try to explain it to you. So this one. So optional input required inputs is completed. So aliasing an input also. So this allows users bind to your input using student age, while inside your component you can access the input using this dot age. So now in the templates we have seen it as a signal, we can use it. So now another one which I want to explain is the deriving values. As with signals, you can also derive values from inputs using computed. So if you are having any other value, derived value means, so just like the computed which we have learned it, so you can also use it that one. So for example, let's say that here you are having a age multiplied. Okay, age multiplied. Okay, so you can have a computed value, and here you can do something like this dot age into 2. So this is the multiplied value. So whenever the age changes, so here it will be changed. So now if I try to use this one, so multiplied age, here I can use it, multiplied age I can use it here, and here you can use age multiplied. That's it. So now if you try to see whatever the age is there, so here the age will be into 2. So computer signals by default it will memorize the values, so we can able to see. And monitoring the changes. When signal inputs, users can leverage the effect function. The function will execute whenever the input changes. Consider the following example. So let's try to do the same example. So let's try to go here. So we know that the computer, the effect and all those things work in the injection context. Okay, let's try to go to the constructor. And in this constructor, what I want to do it is, and here I can use an effect. Okay, and here I can use something like console.log of this dot first name. That's it, finish. So now if you try to check the output for this one, so you will be able to see the console.log for this one. Why this one is not executing? Is there any wrong that I have written? In the constructor I have written, in the effect I have written, and I am trying to do the this dot first name. So now we are able to get the first name. So is there any effect put or error or what? So nothing is there. So let's try to see it again, the output for this one. Another version of DevTools. Okay, fine, that one is leave it. Let's try to execute this example. Attempting initialization. So why this one is not executing? Every time this will happen as soon as the first video, for success during the line type. So the problem here we are able to see it is the constructor, the spelling mistake. So this is the common problems which you will be able to face it. So here we are able to see the first name. So this one is the constructor. Okay. So now we are able to get the derived value also. So why we need to use the signal inputs over the input? So reactivity, first one is the reactivity, second one is the type safety, and the third one is the derived values. You can easily compute the values using using computer property. Conclusion. So signal inputs in Angular provide a powerful and flexible way to manage component inputs with reactivity. By utilizing the input and the input.required functions, you can create components that are more resilient and maintainable. So the above example which I have told you, so how to declare and use them inputs effectively, and even making Angular even more capable for building reactive applications. So hope you understood about the signal inputs concept. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.